What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a bombshell video where we will talk about the fact that Manchester City are suing the Premier League and they are trying to basically get rid of the rules that prevent Man City and other clubs to inflate their sponsorship deals, which is against the rules. And in this verdict, Man City actually admit that they are guilty about some of the 115 charges that the Premier League are charging them with, and Manchester City launched an unprecedented legal action against the Premier League, and this has sparked a civil war among clubs, with the hearing starting in 5 days time. And that's absolutely baffling. Man City's case that is in front of the Premier League, that hearing will start in November and it will last 6 weeks, and it took 6 years for the Premier League to finally bring the case in front of an independent Premier League commission, independent Premier League panel, because Man City delayed, put every legal hurdle in front of the investigation, and they didn't cooperate. And now Man City are describing the Premier League financial rules as tyranny of the majority, which is an absolute nonsense claim. And Man City in this lawsuit, they are arguing that sponsors linked to club owners should be allowed to determine how much they want to pay, regardless of independent valuation. So that's basically an admission that they are guilty of inflating their sponsorships. And they just want to get rid of that rule, so they are suing the Premier League. And Man City are basically saying, if our sponsors want to pay us 3 times the amount that any other sponsor is willing to pay, then that's up to them, and that should be fine. And I think if the courts don't throw out this case, and if the courts side with Manchester City, then the Premier League is absolutely done. It's over. The competition will be absolutely ruined, because 4 of Manchester City's 10 sponsors have ties to their owners, to United Arab Emirates, including stadium and shirt sponsor Etihad Airways, who are the main sponsors of Manchester City. And this is absolutely scandalous that Man City have the cheek to do this. They are trying to sue the Premier League to get rid of the rules that Man City broke. If you are innocent, just think about this for a second and let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And also, if you enjoy these videos, make sure to leave a like. If you want to be up to date with this case, make sure to subscribe if you are new around here. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about Man City? They are painting themselves like the good guys, and they are painting the traditional English clubs as the bad guys in this scenario, and they are saying that they are an oppressed minority. Man City are the richest club in the Premier League at the moment. They have won 6 of the 7 Premier League titles in the last 7 years, and yet they are the oppressed ones. Absolute lunatics, these guys. Man City basically declared war on the Premier League, suing the competition over new financial rules in an unprecedented move, because never before has a Premier League club sued the Premier League. And they filed a 165-page legal document claiming they are the victims of discrimination. Oh my goodness, absolutely scandalous, incredible. I'm lost for words how to describe what Man City are doing. And there are already 12 clubs siding with the Premier League on this issue and who are against Manchester City. And I think most of the clubs should be against Man City. Of course, Newcastle and maybe Chelsea, who also have part Saudi ownership, will side with Manchester City, because if they get rid of the rules, that benefits the richest clubs like Newcastle and Chelsea. But all the other clubs should be siding with the Premier League on this case. And according to the Times newspaper and Matt Lawton, between 10 and 12 clubs have stepped forward to assist the Premier League. 1 club has come forward to support Man City, that is probably Newcastle, because Newcastle have a sponsorship deal with Saudi rights company Salah. Chelsea also have a similar agreement with an Infinite Athlete, a company that lists the club's joint owners Todd Bowley and Baghdad Eghbali among its investors. Like, can you imagine Liverpool being owed by the United States government and Liverpool getting inflated sponsorship deals from United States companies? Can you imagine the uproar if that happened among the other Premier League clubs? That's exactly what Manchester City are doing. And it absolutely baffles me that Man City just want the Premier League to get rid of the rules. Basically, that's what this lawsuit is about. And then it will be the wild, wild west in the Premier League again. It will be just a free-for-all, and whoever has the most money can do whatever they want. And Man City want a monopoly. They want to keep winning title after title, trophy after trophy. They already won 12 of the last 21 domestic trophies. That's more than 50% of the trophies of the last 21 domestic trophies, and the next best club is 4 domestic trophies won by Liverpool in the past 4 years, I think that is. So Man City have won 3 times as many trophies as the second most successful club in this period, and yet they are saying that they are the oppressed ones. Absolutely incredible. And the reason why Man City are suing the Premier League is they are afraid that they will be found guilty, and they are afraid of their punishment, because deals with companies linked to Abu Dhabi are key to many of the 115 breaches that Man City are accused of between 2009 and 2023. So 14 years that Man City have broken the rules, and now they are trying to sue the Premier League to get rid of the rules. Absolutely mind-blowing that they have the cheek to do this. And now Man City's image is at an all-time low, and Man City's relationship with the Premier League is at an all-time low as well. And a lot of clubs are fearful that if Man City are successful in this lawsuit, it could enable Man City and all the other richest clubs to value their sponsorship deals without an independent assessment, basically vastly boosting the amount of money they can raise, and they will just have almost unlimited amounts of money to spend on players, and that will completely destroy the Premier League. That would mean Newcastle and Man City would spend just the most money, 5 times, 10 times as much as anybody else, and they would just rule the competition. Every year Man City and Newcastle would be top 2 of the Premier League, and all the rest we're just we would be fighting for scraps. And you know what's even more shocking and baffling? Man City claim that the rules introduced 2.5 years ago are restrictive and anti-competitive, yet they have won 4 Premier League titles in a row and 6 Premier League titles in the last 7 years, and they are saying the Premier League is not competitive and the rules are restrictive. Can you wrap your head around this? How insane this is? That Man City are complaining, yet they are winning everything in England, every Premier League, apart from the Jurgen Klopp 99-point miracle season. And other Premier League clubs are believing that Man City are doing what they are doing, that will actually destroy the competitiveness of the Premier League, which is right now the world's most competitive and most popular league. If they allow clubs with super rich owners to spend unlimited amounts of money on their playing squads and infrastructure and nullify financial fair play rules, that would absolutely destroy the Premier League. Millions are spent on legal fees to fight this case. In the past 1 year, the Premier League's legal bill has jumped from 5 million to 20 million. But Man City don't care. They are happy to pay lawyers hundreds of millions of pounds as long as they can sue the Premier League into oblivion. This is a tactic from Man City, clearly, to scare the Premier League into not giving Man City a harsh punishment. If a club is innocent, why would you not just present your evidence that you are innocent? If you are not guilty, you wouldn't sue the Premier League who is charging you. Absolutely incredible, honestly. It's like a bank robber suing the police for having the rules that you can't rob a bank and you can't steal money. I mean, that's just absolutely mind-blowing that the Man City even thought this was a good idea. And listen to this. Man City, in their claim, they are seeking damages for the losses that they have had as a result of unlawfulness of the fair market value rules. So they think that the Abu Dhabi sponsors should have paid Man City whatever amount they would like, and because they lost out on millions of pounds because of this, they are suing the Premier League to get their money back. I mean, that is just absolutely... It blows my mind that Man City would think that this is a good idea. Now the whole Premier League, apart from Newcastle and Chelsea, will hate Man City even more. Man City are claiming that fair market value rules are intended to be discriminatory towards clubs with ties to the Gulf region. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that the Gulf region, countries from that region, bought Premier League clubs, while no other country has bought Premier League clubs so far. You can't just pay sponsorship deals at an inflated rate, because it completely destroys the fairness of the Premier League, and it completely destroys the competitiveness of the Premier League. And in this lawsuit, Man City also threatened the Premier League that if they keep the present rules as they are, that will limit the Man City's ability to buy the best players, and they would be forced to charge fans for more tickets. Man City say they may also have to cut spending on youth development, women's football and community programs. But guess what? Those are not relevant. When it comes to financial fair play rules, you can spend as much as on infrastructure, on youth development, you can spend as much on women's football, you can spend as much as you want on community programs. But Man City are threatening the Premier League that if they are found guilty, then they will just stop spending on their women's team, they will stop spending on youth development, and they will stop spending on communities. That is basically a direct threat and blackmailing the Premier League, which shows what Man City are all about, really. It just shows that Man City are resorting to the most dirty tactics possible, and they will do absolutely everything and anything to get away with breaking the rules. Because they just want the rules to be scrapped at this point, which is absolutely mind-blowing to me. And Man City are doing this because they want a lighter sentence. They want to undermine the current Premier League rules. They want to find some of them unlawful in front of a judge, in front of the court, because that way Man City could claim that some of the charges should just be dismissed in the November hearing. That's the main reason why Man City are doing this, the only reason why Man City has been doing this. And if Man City succeed, the end game is frightening. It is going to be a two-horse race in the Premier League. Newcastle United and Man City will be in a direct race with each other. Who can spend the most amount of money? If some of the rules are lifted and they are not upheld, then it will be a two-horse race for the title every season between Newcastle and Man City, and Chelsea, who have part Saudi ownership, will be trotting along in third place, and the rest of the Premier League will be nowhere to be seen, nowhere near them, because they won't be able to spend as much as the unlimited amounts of money that Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates has, and they can fund Man City and Chelsea and Newcastle with this unlimited amount of money. And what's also important to keep in mind is Man City agreed to all of these rules that they are now challenging. They signed off on these rules when they were introduced 10 or 20 or 2.5 years ago, whatever rule was introduced. Man City agreed, signed on it, and now they are disputing the validity of these rules, and they are trying to challenge these rules in court. If Man City don't want to play by the rules, then the other 19 clubs should just kick them out of the competition. The Premier League should kick Manchester City out, because it's clear by now they don't want to play by the rules, they don't want to follow the rules, and they don't want to play fair. If that's the case, then Man City should be kicked out of the Premier League, they should be relegated, they should be stripped of all their titles. All of the other rival fans, maybe apart from Newcastle, I think agree with this sentiment, but let me know if you agree with this or not in the comments below. And thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoy it. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.